And today on the bench is a Pioneer DVL919 Laserdisc player. Yes, video Laserdiscs. They came after these and before these. But these never really took off as a format in Europe because you couldn't record on them like the old VHS video. And the Laserdisc players were expensive too. And this model's rather late to the party. This was released just after 1995 and cost £900. About 4 or 5 times more expensive than a video cassette recorder. And being a later model, it plays DVDs as well, as you can see with the logo right in the middle of the tray. And this one boasts some high-end digital audio specs. And rather curiously, has a separate eject button for DVDs, CDs and Laserdiscs. Why is that? And the back of this isn't too complicated. It looks worse than it is, but it's mainly just writing. And not an HDMI socket in sight. It's got a pair of SCART sockets, remember those? And various video outputs. And it comes with a rather swanky remote control. With hidden buttons. Fancy. I was doing this thing. I'll tell you what, that back fluorescent display is looking pretty dark. Is it dimmed? No. I don't know if I can do anything about that. That's a new display and I doubt I'll get one. So I guess this is going to be rather clever. There's a CD drawer. Pops out just a single CD drawer. How about Laserdisc? Wow. So it turns out it holds 4 different size discs, anything from 3 inch, 5 inch, 8 inch and 12 inch. Although it does warn you not to put more than one in at a time. Now I'm told that this thing does actually play, but it throws the odd tantrum, so I'm going to take the lid off because the technology is really cool. Now that's one monster mechanism, and it's got that much weight. It's got springs to help hold it up. You can just about see the mains power supply under here, big switch mode job, and the other side's packed full of circuit boards. And there's a lot of Pioneer silicon here, look at that. And what's this, a Fujitsu? I reckon that's a microcontroller or something. Got a lot of legs. And that board will be for decoding the DVDs, which is quite an intensive operation. Conversely, the bottom board for the Laserdisc player doesn't require anywhere near as much computing power, so it's much older stuff down there. And that's because the video data stored on the Laserdisc is actually analogue. The Laserdisc is very similar in construction to the standard audio CD, only it's a lot bigger. But inside here there's an aluminium layer and it's actually got the data, which is like pits and spaces, pressed into it. They can squeeze just about 1 hour of video on one side of these, so it's double-sided, so you can get a whole film on, almost. Now the owner tells me that it works, but it only plays half a film. So I'm going to plug it into the monitor with the old SCART connector and give it some power, obviously. Let's get that massive tray open. That's exposed more of the power supply. It looks to be, visually, in very nice condition. I don't think it's had a hard time. And this thing's actually got 2 lasers, one at the bottom and one at the top. But it's not for playing both sides of the disc, you know. Although that is a requirement, because these are double-sided. So in it goes. Let's press play. Just look at that run out on there. Now that tells you how good the laser servo systems are. It's constantly looking at the focus on that and the laser lens will be tracking up and down just in time with that. Don't think I can see it though. But it definitely works. The music dates it a bit, but yeah, decent picture. Not the best, but it'll work. I can't sit here all day watching this, so I'll skip through it a bit. Oh, it's a bit jittery. You can really see it slowing down now. This will be a constant linear velocity player. This is the last track on this side. It's going to change over now. And now it's in the fault the sledge motor's not going. And I don't know why, but what you can see is the laser's focusing, so they call it radial movement. That's trying to slowly move across, tracking the very small tracks, 1.6 microns, and then it doesn't move and it just jumps back to the beginning. That's why we keep seeing the looping movie. I think we'll power it off with the tray open so I can get it out a bit more easily. The tray should take all these bendy plastic tangs. I don't know if I need this cover off, but it's coming off. At this point it's coming apart like a giant CD player. One thing dropping a screw in a switch mode power supply, it's another one leaving it there. You can normally get the laser pickup out by taking out this guide rod, because it's only held in by one screw over here, and you could undo it, but I think that's going to be trouble. And you don't want to tear that flat flex cable, not on a good laser, no way. And there's not that many screws to take it all out, it's very deep in there. Oh, rather comically, you can't reach. For those hard to reach spaces comes Mr. Bendy again. Be a good idea to take this ground strap off as well. Looks like it won't come out unless I take the front panel off as well. Try and bend it up, wiggle it off. There we are. Although this is stretched like a bowstring, so I better take that off as well. Let's pull that off. There we go. Not sure what this does, apart from stop it being removed. Let's fetch that off as well. See if I can get these springs off here. Funny little hook things. There's one. And there's another. Let's undo this cable. This is off the DVD laser. And this one here, I'm not sure what this one's for. It's got to come off. This is the other laser pickup. There's still more to come off. I think this front panel's the next thing to come out. And of course there's a screw right in the middle. How am I supposed to get that out? I need to release these ribbon cables from this clamp here. Otherwise I'm going to tear them off when I've moved this backwards. And that's not what I want to do. Probably help if I take this carrier off. Pull this clip out of the way. There we go. Just spotted another ribbon cable that needs to come off. Don't that catching me out. See if I can just jiggle it backwards a bit. Yes. At least now I can get to the screw. Out it comes. Aha, I've missed a screw over here. I'm not liking the noise this is making. Smelling a bit too. I think I might need another one. Now in theory I can just pull this off. Will it come out now? Yes. Oh, no it isn't. One more wire. Well, it's left a big old gap, and that was a bigger job than I was expecting, to be honest. So I can more comfortably get the laser pickup out, I need to remove this plate. And it might be as simple as just removing these 4 screws. It's got to remove this spring as well. This plastic part's got to come out. Okay. Probably better if I unplug this before I snap the cable off. And there's our first proper look at the laser pickup unit. Now I want to apply a test voltage on these motor terminals, but I'm not sure what else is connected to here. I think everything's disconnected, but I want to unplug this. Just need to flick this little tab up. Same this side. I'm going to set something sensible like 3 volts. I'll put the probe on there, just touch it and see how it runs. No trouble that direction. Let's see how it goes this way. Oh, it's running off. Seems to be running just fine though. Now knock this down to 1 volt, get it a lot slower, more like how it should be running. Let's try that. No problems there. Let's swap the leads back, see if it comes out. Oh, that's jammed. I do believe we replicated the fault. The motor's pulling current, so I think this is mechanical. So we've got to get this guide rail out, which is just that screw. Well, I do have to say, I like this cable restraint, that spring-loaded lever. That's very tight, isn't it? Out comes a little screw. Now I think this just slides out. It does. These laser pickups are very sensitive to static, so I'm going to ground myself just to discharge anything I've got. And that's easily done by just touching something grounded. There we are. Any scope terminal is generally grounded. So this black plastic assembly is holding the motor on, and it's basically a gear casing for a little gearbox. How did he? I don't see anything obvious. This worm assembly, what does it drive? It must drive another gear, like a worm wheel. Let's just power the motor up again. See that it's going round okay. What's that black rubbish on there? You see that? Bit of grit or something. Let's try it in reverse. I don't see any trouble. Apart from that grit. I think it's just dust or something. Let's see if I can brush it out. I'd say that has. That all looks pretty clean to me. I think I've got to look elsewhere. Something to consider, this only plays up on the B side, so that's running on a different track. So the laser assembly actually runs on this guide rod and drives on this track, which, well, that is a bit loosey-goosey, isn't it? Let's actually mount the laser onto this, as it would do in operation. Just in there, just rotate that motor there. I think I'll power this along, it's a bit quicker. I'm going to drive this backwards in little pulses like it would do in real use. Oh, it's stuck. Look at that. Oh, there it went. So I can do a bit more testing. I'm going to solder some wires on here. So this time I'm not pushing it with my probes, so that could be interfering with the results. Just going to shove this rail under the power supply here so it's orientated the right way. It's jammed already. That's properly jammed. First attempt. That is going nowhere. Give it a little push, see if that moves it. Oh, there we go. Let's drive it back. That's nice and smooth. See if I can get it to stick again. No. It's as if that's dislodged some debris. I think this thing needs a bit of a clean out. So I'm going to drive this off the end of the track. I'm going to give this guide rail a bit of a clean down. Let's wipe it with some IPA. I don't want to take the rail off because it's on these delicate plastic mountings and I have a fear that they won't go back on in exactly the right place. Let's just brush this gear rack off. I can't really see anything in it, but whilst I'm here. Just going to clean these guide bushes out. Oh, there is a bit of muck in there, but that's to be expected. Although I'm quite encouraged just how much black muck's coming off here. Do this side as well. Oh yes. This could just be a case of old grease. It's nothing like the sort you see on old record players, but this is quite a delicate mechanism. We'll take this little gearbox apart. I might as well do. Everything else has been cleaned. Now that's all apart. So here we've got the gears exposed and I see a hair. Could that be causing the trouble? It's difficult to see what else is there. I think these are going to have to come out. We'll have to clean the grease off them so I can see better. Also put this plastic holder in as well. Spray some IPA on these. And hope this washes the grease off. Let's not forget this little worm gear either. Now everything's been cleaned, I can check it for damage and yeah, I don't see anything wrong. That's very encouraging. Same with the gears. Those teeth really are pristine. This motor holder assembly. Shafts are all okay. Can't see any cracks or anything. I think we're good to put it back together. And I'm going to re-grease it with this Molykote grease EM30L, especially designed for plastics, I understand. I'll start by putting a little bit of this grease on these spindles. Not loads. That's probably too much. Put a bit in there. Poke the worm gear through here and sit it down there. Pop a screw into the motor and another one. We've got this spring assembly, goes on like that, and just squeeze a bit of grease onto here. I'm going to power the motor up to drive this round. There we go. And just a little bit of grease in these bushes. Let's slide it on here. Just engage those little gears. Let's see how it moves. Beautiful. And back again in little bursts. I'm going to do the back of this as well. It's a little plastic guide here. Let's put a little bit of fresh grease on there. And hang it back upside down. This is looking good to me. I'll just drive it off this track. Takes a little while longer than I want it to. And put the lower guide rod through here. There we go. Just locate the laser and the guide rail in the right places. Pop the little screw in. Take it for a little drive down the track. That's lovely and smooth, that is. Back the other way. Absolutely lovely. Can't see anything wrong with that. And I'm soldered these motor wires now. That flat flex isn't quite sitting nicely, is it? It's better. Now I can reinstall this top plate. Give it a wiggle. Pop this wire back in as well. Then we've got this claw thing, whatever it is. Sits through there like that. Just goes in there and there's a spring on it. There we go. Now I can throw it back in the chassis. And this is the perfect time to remember to put this ribbon cable back in. And this little plug here and the front chassis frame, I think it went on like this. Put this back in the right place, something like that. I'm trying to retrieve these springs from down here. There's one. And there's the next one. Bit of a stretch this is. And that's the second one. I've got to get this retaining clamp back in there somehow. I'll drop it in. Get these long tweezers on it. Might be in luck. Yes. And there's another clamp which sort of fell out. And somehow I've got to plug this cable into here. Oh, that's going to be a tight squeeze. But it's in. Sounds a bit easier. So we've got this cable retainer. Piece of plastic. Just have to thread that through there like that. Where was it retained though? Over here. Also got this grounding lead on here. And this is the cable for the DVD pickup. Get this bar back on there as well. Oh, I nearly forgot about this one. Just wiggle this plastic thing on. Got to put the front panel on as well. Just push the cables under here. And this little earth tag. Then feed the tray in, if I can remember how it goes. Then the front panel cable plugs into here. So I'll take this screw out so I can put the ground tag back on. There we go. So now it's ready for a quick test. Let's hope it works. Oh, that's not good. I think I've broken it. Oh. Let's hope it's just a cable I've missed. So the power supply connectors are all in, although I don't think I even took them out. I've got the power into the board there. This is the mechanism. That's plugged in. I can't see anything I've missed. There's no sockets that aren't occupied that were unoccupied already. How strange. I can't believe I've actually broke it. It's something silly. Ah, how's that for silly? I haven't plugged the laser in. What an idiot. Well, do you think that could be a problem? I'm only hoping I can reach it. I think I can. Yes. Let's try that now. Well, that was lucky. I thought I was in a bit of trouble then. Let's get this thing back on before I put a disc in here. Put this disc in and let's hope it plays. I'm just going to leave that to play a while, make sure it doesn't skip.
Whoever told you I was letting go, the only joy that I have ever known.
I'm going to fast forward a few tracks. So that's played through a whole track now without skipping, so big improvement, and I'm pretty sure that's fixed it. So I'm going to put the covers back on now. I'll start with this little back cover. It just hinges on. 19 screws left. Will they all find a home? And there's 10 screws left for the lid. They must be frightened of it blowing away. Something interesting, these screws are the Japanese industrial standard, JIS, and you need a special screwdriver. It's not that much different, but it fits very well if you get the right thing. But it didn't need any parts, just a clean and some posh grease. Let's hope it stays working. Catch you next time.